All right, thank you. Thank you everyone for showing up here. I'll call the meeting to order if we can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I have a flag.
Oh, I forgot to get my flag picture queued up. Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the
Just
flag
of the United States of
America,
America,
and to the
and to the
republic
republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
God bless our troops.
Thank you. All right. Introductions. I think everyone's got their name up for the most part. So I don't know. I'm not sure how we do introductions on Zoom, but
It kind of doesn't work very well. I don't think we
Yeah.
have anybody on the phone, do we? Can you guys
Oh.
tell Kevin or Flora if anybody's on the phone?
I didn't see anyone who joined that was on the phone. I think everyone is on the Zoom call via computer.
all right. Well, again, thank you everybody for coming, for being here, and Happy New Year. We had I don't know, 6 days of a peaceful 2021, so that was nice. Things have gotten crazy, but anyway, thanks for everybody for coming. I think we do have do we have minutes to approve? Yeah.
Maybe, you know what, Bill, maybe I said not to do introductions, but maybe just for Flora's benefit, I'll just read off who I see and what organization they're with. So then we can pause the voting roll. So Dan Bapst is Dune Acres. Bill Emerson is Lake County Surveyor. Reggie Korthals is the MS4 partnership, right? What is?
Executive Director of the Indiana MS4 Partnership.
Thank you. Jennifer Gonzalez is Town of Chesterton. Chandra is Chandra or Purdue. Chris Kraus, Shirley Heinz. Lori Kegel, South Shore Clean Cities. Kevin is staff. Joe is staff. Candy is staff. Flora staff. Meredith is staff. Katie is Save the Dunes. Katie Hobgood is Save the Dunes. Susan Mahalo is Nature Conservancy. Katie Vallis is Lake Michigan Coastal Program. George Topple is Union Township. And now my other windows are blocking. Jennifer Birchfield is Urban Waters or CLCP. She has a lot of hats. Jeff Benson is Beverly Shores. And I have 2 blocked and I don't want to close my window. I'm going to have to close my window to see them. Jen Osborne with Lake Michigan Coastal Program and Brenda Scott Henry with Gary. Is that everybody?
Wow, big group.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thank you. And there's no one from the public. Everyone here is members, right?
Right, but now we should go through and do the minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh, no problem. So we all right, did everyone have a chance to review the meeting minutes? All right. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion to approve in a second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Do we need to do roll call? I guess I don't on the minutes.
Yes, on the voting, yes.
Oh, okay. All right, roll call vote, please.
Me?
Yes, Fleur.
Thank you. Let's see. Should I just go through the list that I have, or should I just do the ones that you mentioned?
I think you can just do the ones I mentioned, unless it's easier to do the whole list, then just do the whole list. Do whatever works best for you.
Lori Kegel?
Yes.
Bill Emerson?
Yes.
Jan Bapst?
Yes.
And Jennifer, I didn't get your last name. I'm sorry.
Gonzala.
Thank you.
And I'm
Is that a yes?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Reggie Korthals?
Yes.
Thank you. Susan Mahalo?
Yes.
Katie Vallis?
Yes.
Katie Hobgood?
Yes.
George Topple?
Yes.
Jenny Osborne?
Yes.
Brenda Scott Henry? Chris Kraus?
Yes.
And Jeff Benson.
Yes.
Brenda Sky Henry, yes.
Thank you. And what was the name from Save the Dunes?
That was Katie Hobgood.
Oh, okay, got her. All right, that concludes roll call. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Then public comments, I think we don't need, well, I guess if there's anyone on the call that is not a member, if you want to have any, if there's any public comments, you can do that now. All right, public comments is closed. We can move on then to our proposed schedule for 2021. Kathy, I know you had one prepared.
Yeah, I ended up building that into my presentation. So
Oh, okay.
maybe, well, I'll put it up.
Sure.
I will put it up. I've screwed up my whole thing anyway. All right. I have my desktop all laid out perfectly.
No, whatever you
moved-
want. I'm not. Yeah.
No, I moved stuff. No, it's totally fine. Share screen. This one. Share. Okay. I should probably make this full screen. So this is not 2020 notwithstanding, because that was a weird year, we all know. And hopefully 2021 will not go that far off the rails. But in 2019, we shifted, Empc has shifted all of their formal advisory committee meetings to a quarterly basis. But I know that at least verbally, a lot of folks have felt like this EMPC monthly meeting is really important to have on the schedule. This calendar reflects that there'll be 4 formal meetings, but there's a lot of opportunity in between months to do other things. And we can do them together, or people can put up different things, which is mostly what the rest of the discussion will be about. But so right now we're looking at this meeting, April 1st, July 1st, and October 7th. I did want to ask people how they feel about July 1st, because obviously that's a Thursday. And so the 4th of July holiday is, I think, on Monday. Where did that go? Nope, it's on Sunday. So it seemed far enough apart, but I wanted to get a second opinion from people on that. I mean, if we're only gonna have a few meetings, I don't want the one of the 3 more to be nobody's here because of a holiday. So does anybody think I should move that, like do August instead, or do June instead, or move it
July's
back?
okay with me. I don't know.
Any thoughts?
What was that, Jan?
July is okay with me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, me too. I'm okay with it.
Okay. Hopefully we won't be virtual by then, but maybe we will be. I don't know. So that's the calendar, and later on in the meeting, I want to get some feedback on what kinds of things people might want to slot into some of those open months, or even what they might want to share at a regular meeting. So that's really all. This will be, we can send this out to people after today when we if we finalize it.
Kathy,
Yes.
do you want, as we look at these different dates, are you looking for a specific topic for the entire a time frame? I'm wanting to keep everybody abreast of the permit, the 2 permits actually, and maybe have 15 minutes of information, and then hopefully by May the 6th, we have some greater information, but you know, I don't need a whole hour. I just need a few minutes.
Okay, that was one of the things I was going to ask you, because it does seem like there's a lot going on with MS4 this year. If you would, yeah, we could do that. Give you a spot on the agenda one of the months, or all of the months, or a short one, or if you want to do more like a
I'll do one every
training or
month.
something.
I'll do every
Okay.
month, because one of the things that the NISWAG group
Mhm.
is going to look at, we have a conference call coming up on the 20th, Bill, so that we can look at, under the new permit, they've combined.
Yes, I was going to mention that, Reggie. Thank you.
Right, but we're not going to have a meeting every month unless the open meetings mean it's something else, right? It's a working group. It's somebody else is hosting a webinar.
Okay,
It's kind of taking advantage of the fact that a lot of the people in this particular environmental group have kept this slot open on their calendar for 20 years.
okay, so then if you have those dates and maybe getting feedback from especially people that are MS4 people, that if we have NICEWAG updates on those days or something, that
Yeah.
we can Zoom in and or one format of virtual meeting.
Yeah.
And then share information that we have, and you'd already have it on your calendar. Bill, does that work?
That works. I think that sounds good. I actually, I know we're talking about our, calendar now, but I almost think it'd be good to take it to the full commission for just a real brief, hey, heads up, everybody, there's a permit changing in your community. I don't know that a lot of every community is aware of that, so.
One of
just a thought.
okay, one of the things that we put together for the partnership is I have like a chart, okay, that identifies what has been changed. And once the public comment period ends and we start moving into the permit issue thing, I don't know whether you want to do it before or after, but I would be happy to do that because there are things on here that they certainly need to be aware of. I have a mayor now of a major city in Northwest Indiana that just said to me, "What is MS4?" I almost had a stroke. Okay, so I mean, they need the education. Okay, we have newly elected officials all the time. We need to keep them abreast of what's going on. You just need to tell me.
Richard Hardaway, who's the chair? We're going to have elections later this month.
Right.
And then I'll talk to Ty about talking with the new chair about putting that on an agenda for the commission, but.
Kathy, this is George Topple.
Hi, George.
I'm the nominee for chair.
It's you. I thought it was you, but then I wasn't 100%, so I was like, back off. Okay.
Justin will be vice chair. Richard Hardaway.
Okay.
Will be secretary and treasurer. Nominees. These are nominees. They haven't been confirmed. It'll be.
Well, let's put them on the spot then right now, George. No, I'm just joking.
No. Okay, so
I'm by the way, Bill. I understand.
George Topple put his picture up there so I could see what he looks like.
I can.
I don't care if you're in your jammies.
No, I'm been up for quite a while.
That's what I figured.
Here we go.
Okay, great. Okay.
So in the event that we can manage an election at NERPC better than our country, no, our country managed our election very well, actually. Just put a pin in that, George, as a future meeting. Reggie, it seems like it's a really big thing. Maybe it'd be good to do one of the open slots and do kind of a whole webinar about it or workshop about it for anyone who wants to.
Okay.
Just think about that. You don't have to decide anything immediately, but
I'm going to wait till after we have the NICEWAG meeting because there are some proposals we're putting together. If you remember back, Kath, when NERPC did the public education for this, we're going to look at, based on the new requirements, maybe doing a comprehensive regional public education program that would be a buy-in for communities. Something where the workload can be better distributed and small communities with one MS4 coordinator that does 100% of the work can have some help in doing it. So
well, just be careful with that. When we tried that before, then all of a sudden that the people wanted state wanted them to have a full program in each community. So that's why it didn't work last time. So anyway, yeah, but I think it's a good idea.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think they're moving towards a watershed concept. We've been looking at that. We've had those conversations with Stacy and Randy and Martha. That I don't know if we'll ever move to a permit by watershed, but we at least can do some more education. They want more involvement with watershed groups, even as they move into looking for state revolving loan funds. So yeah, I think we're in a different place now, Kathy, and I think they understand that.
Okay. Well, just so, and I guess I want to be a little more clear, maybe on the dates where it says open.
Okay.
NERPC will not be planning to host or organize a specific EMPC meeting or event.
Okay.
But the date's open. So there's a 2-hour block on that Thursday where if somebody wanted to do something, we could promote it as a EMPC sponsored event, or, you know, we could help it, but we don't want to lead it, because the reason we're going to quarterly meetings is so NERPC staff will spend less time on meetings. So, and all our partners. So it's open because it will be canceled unless there's a partner or a group or an activity planned.
Well, what about if you have an enormous amount of, in fact, I think everybody membership on this call right now, that if you sent out some kind of a list that said, if you have a date that you would like to do something, like if Lake Michigan Coastal wanted to take March the 4th, but they needed an hour, maybe EMPC, or not EMPC, but MS4 or NICEWAG could do the same thing and fit it into the same amount of time. And that, if we know ahead of time who's thinking about what, that would be a good idea.
That is exactly where we're starting this. That's what this is. This is getting you all thinking about that. I don't expect a commitment today, but that's the idea, and we can send it out later. We were successful in doing that in 2019 on several of the months.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So it's not new. It just kind of got messed up last year.
Like everything else, right?
Yeah, like everything else.
Hey, Kathy, one thing I've sort of missed is when we used to have the item commissioner come and give a presentation about the state of the, you know, the environment in this area. And, you know, I don't know if other people found it beneficial, but I'm wondering, you know, if that's something that could be scheduled in.
We could see we had kind of deferred on that because the commissioner was coming up for the Partners for Clean Air annual luncheon and giving essentially the same presentation. But so then it seemed redundant to have someone come up twice in a row, but
not all of us go to the.
Yeah, I know. So we can.
Can I speak to that, Kath or
Yes.
Bill? So Bruno, we did, from a Partners Clean Air perspective, in August have a virtual luncheon. You know, we normally have those around Earth Day, and then we were hoping, we postponed it, hoped to have it in person, didn't happen. It was virtual, but that was recorded, and Bruno did give a lengthy presentation specific to Northwest Indiana. So I'd be happy to share that link, or maybe I could share it with Kathy or Floor, and they could, you know, share it again with the group. And that was just in August. So it's not, you know, terribly outdated information. I am on the Partners Steering Committee, and there are plans in place to do another virtual one this year, possibly closer to Earth Day. So that should be happening again shortly. And I'll be happy to share that with this group, and then I'm sure NERPC will share it with the entirety of the group as well.
Right. Was that only on air?
Oh, it was. He covers everything.
No,
Okay.
he goes. Yeah, he does a lot. I mean, he focuses a lot on air, but he goes into a host of things. So I'd be more than, I can send that to you directly after this meeting. But if anybody else is interested, I'm sure that that NERPC would be happy to share with this board as well.
Yeah, I think I have it too. So this conversation, we're going to talk more about this if we go in the PowerPoint too. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that sounds like a good outline and a good plan. Unless anyone has any major objections to proceeding that way for 2021, I think that sounds like a plan, Kathy.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Yeah, to item 6. Go ahead, Kathy.
Okay,
Keep going.
I have to stop sharing, and then I have to share again.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're trying something different today, and I did practice on Joe and Floor, so this should work. This is a interactive, this presentation has interactive polling questions in it. So in order for that to work, you're going to have to open up either on your phone or in another window on your computer, whatever works for you. And we're going to put these instructions in the chat too. Actually, I'm going to ask Joe, can you put those in the chat? I'm nervous if I start moving screens around. Go to a website called Slido. It's sli.do. And it is also, you can find it on your phone too. And you don't have to download an app or anything. And then enter the code 5460. Oops. I thought I made a slide.
There'll be a QR code coming up on the slides if you kept everything too, if people would like just to grab a snapshot with their phone. And that'll take them directly to it.
Wait, did I catch it?
What is the code again, Kathy?
5460. I might have lost
Kathy,
this. Yeah.
Am I allowed to join this or not?
Hmm?
Am I allowed to join in on this or am I not?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you can.
I wasn't sure if it was just a member or commissioner thing or not.
No, anybody can. I'm looking for input and feedback.
Okay, sounds good.
Oops. I gotta go back on my slides.
Okay, I have a quick question for the IT guy. Is Slido something that I have to have I have to buy, or I have to, how do I get this?
So right now I'm using a free basic version, Reggie.
Okay.
So it's free, but I can only have 3 interactive polling questions per presentation. So if I wanted to go serious on this, I would have to pay for it. And I don't know how much, but right now I'm only doing 3.
Okay.
So
I'm on my phone, so I think I'm set up.
Okay.
I'm already I'm on my screen.
Okay. So, and this is kind of looking at the year ahead, look back a little bit. I missed a page again. No, I didn't. Right. So what is the Mpc? Most of you know that Mpc has used it as a formal stakeholder advisory committee, advising us on one of our 3 statutory roles, which is maintaining comprehensive planning and programming for environmental policy and coordinative management processes for that. So that's kind of the, so that's why we staff it and how we can justify staffing it for our grants, mostly for our transportation funding. And looking at the year ahead of us, I don't see very many specific NERPC projects or planning processes on the horizon. Joe and I have grant projects we're working on, and we will certainly present that information to you, but I don't see us having a big plan or a big new program or anything that EMPC would be, the right group to handle or need to vote on or anything. So that's kind of why the calendar looks really open this year. So, we'll keep you posted. We ended up having 15 communities sign up for the greenhouse gas inventory application with IU. So we'll keep you posted if we get funded for that. But there's not a lot of NERPC action coming this year. So so I don't want to convene people just to meet, because Lord knows we're all too busy for that. But, you know, the whole conversation about MS4, or what Susan said, you know, people do feel there's value. So that's why I wanted to try to have some input on that. This first Thursday of the month time slot has been NERC for at least 25 years, maybe longer. That was as long as I could confirm myself, having either been a participant or from IDEM or other reasons. And
You got it right.
okay. So I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose it as an opportunity. You know, we try to make sure it's balanced with local governments, elected officials, environmental groups, experts on different topics. And I know that the federal and state agencies appreciate having this group of people here that is knowledgeable and interested and available. So that's kind of what we do. And that's why I'm trying to hold the slots without having tons of NERC business, and why I'm kind of offering it. Well, see, but beyond NERC's needs. So this is to get your input. So I get so ahead of myself all the time. And there's a lot of examples of different things this EMPC group has done that had little that were not related to NERC's required activities. We brought attention to the pines, some concerns in pines, and also more recently we brought attention to concerns about the spill and response in Lake Michigan. In the past, we had a whole air quality committee that advised IDEM on the emission management measures that they could put in the state implementation plan. Before I came here, we had a group work on a model ordinance for outdoor wood-fired boilers. We had a climate change working. So there's a lot of different things we've done that come more out of the committee than out of NERC. So that's the kind of stuff, and there have been a lot of long-term collaborative partnerships that arose out of this EMPC. So, oh, here's more of the instructions. I didn't put the QR code in still, Joe. If you're late joining us or you haven't already, here's the instructions again to go to Slido. There's 2 tabs. In the poll tab, it will be activated as questions as I get to question slides. If you have a question or a topic you want to discuss at the end, put that in the Q&A tab and it'll all be saved up for the end. Well, not the end, but for the Q&A slide. So anything you want to put in the Q&A tab, you can put whatever you want. Well, please be polite. Okay.
There it is. This QR in upper left.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So you should be able to on Slido. Is the question active? Can you guys see? Can you see Joe did a question? Wait, I have it on my phone too. I think being on the slide is supposed to activate it. Yep. Enter a keyword or 2 that best captures what you find valuable about EMPC. And you can enter more than one. You can enter a word and then enter another word. There's no limit on entries.
People are participating.
This is cool.
9, 10, 11. Yeah, tech is cool when it works.
I might have to use this for some of my stuff. You make sure people are staying awake. This is
I
nice.
think I'm thinking the same thing for the Nice White group.
Yeah.
As Kathy mentioned, the only limitation, unless you pay for, is what, 3 slides. So that's the only downside.
That's why you work for a consulting firm. You let them pay for it.
There we go.
I thought about making like 3 different PowerPoints so I could have 3 in each one and just stack them. But, you know, I thought we could talk enough. We didn't really need that many more questions. So
Got 17. Anybody else?
Anybody still thinking of?
You can enter more, right? 18.
Okay, now how do I get to, okay. I'll close the Slido page. Oh,
there we go.
We're making a Wordle.
Cool.
So lots of people put collaboration, information sharing, networking, policy updates. So form. So those are, so I guess that's what, when you're thinking about these events and the open calendar dates, that's what I'm looking for. If collaboration is the most valuable use of our time, you know, let's try to populate the meetings with collaboration opportunities and information sharing. Cool.
That worked well.
It did.
Those of you that didn't participate, shame on you.
And seemingly some of them are, you can take the one like I just put policy, but it's definitely policy update.
Yeah.
And then I saw another one that says network and it goes into networking. So you minimize your subjects that are important
right. So,
to people.
Yeah, like I can, yeah, I mean, I think I get to keep these, and now I know collaboration is number 1 and then networking and then, yeah. So for this, the next part, I wanted to go through the mission statement and goals of EMPC. And a couple years ago, we had a small working group look at these. We have a mission statement and goals, and they are available on NERPC's website. And they were actually adopted by this committee in 1995. Right. So, and a couple years ago, the working group felt they were all still pretty relevant, so we didn't really change them. But I wanted to kind of get a sense of which are the most relevant today. So this is just the mission statement. Recognize the value and independence of natural resources and economic strengths and current needs and future generations. So here I've put, and this is like 2 slides long, there's 7 goals. And so if you go to the Slido, you can, I would ask you to pick 3. So that, and we'll get back a sense of what the top 3 are, our strengths and the most relevant today. Educate and inform ourselves and others regarding environmental issues, generate debate and discussion and focus public awareness, form coalitions to pursue cooperative approaches, facilitate communication between local elected officials and state and federal agencies, provide a vision for area-wide sustainable development. Oh no, it didn't show. Okay, if you're on Slido, you should have 2 more. Oh, I'm on Slido. Serve as a vehicle for the development of sound regional public policy and development guidelines, and assist in development of an information resource center. Those are the 7.
Yeah, the only downside to this one right now is it's interactive and it might sway people. Because it's coming in across live.
I think I can turn it off. I can go back. Oh, no, I can't.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with watching how this goes. And, you know, it's not necessarily going to sway me, but it's interesting to know how other people are thinking, especially too bad it doesn't say, how did Lori vote? But, it, you know, or Susan. But it gives us an idea of priorities, and you can look at this and see that for a couple of things, we're all on the same page.
And as chairman, I have to say no placing bets on this. This is not something you can wager on. That's cool.
Last time we had 17 votes. This time we have 16.
Ah,
Oh, Kay has entered the.
You were able to have multiple votes last time, Kathy, is why, I think.
Oh, oh, that's right, because people could put multiple. Okay, we're doing an interactive presentation. So there's actually instructions on the screen. I don't know if you want to try to catch up or just watch. But if you go to the slido.com on your phone, you can vote on things or answer questions. All right, so our top 3 are educate and inform ourselves and others, form coalitions to pursue cooperative approaches, and generate debate and discussion and focus public awareness. But that is tied with
we got a tie.
Vehicle for Development of Sound Regional Public Policy. So that's how we're going to move forward, focusing on a lot on just educating, informing ourselves, which I think we do, because we all are specialists in different areas. And this kind of allows us to be a little generalist by hearing what's going on in other areas. But
I wonder if you reorganize the questions and see what the numbers would be.
Oh, if I put them in different order, I just put them in the order they are in the goal statement.
If you look at the numbers, they come out stacked 1 through the final.
Oh, do they?
that's laziness. Good point, though.
No, because cooperative approaches is 3rd on the questions, and it's coming out 2nd in the poll.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the last one, the information center one, that was sort of replaced by the internet. Like in 1995, I don't think we had the internet the way we do now.
Are they listed the same way that in the rank order here as they were on the questions as presented?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, so this stacks them. Okay.
It stacks them in order of.
My bad.
Right. So these are the top 5. So the 2 that fell off were the information center and facilitate information between local elected officials and state and federal environmental agencies. Those 2 fell off. So they're 6 and 7.
Do we have a place on the NERC board agenda? We used to do this. I don't know if you do it anymore, where you have an EMPC report to the full commission?
Yes.
Okay.
And also to the technical planning committee. We were typically that ends up being a staff report, and then at the commission, Bill or Jan will give it.
Okay.
If they're not there, I grab somebody else. Or they call on me. Okay, thank you. That was interesting to know. It's interesting to me that the local government one fell off, and that's kind of what NERC is. So,
well, I think what that tells you, Kathy, is that the members of this board, anyway, those that participated, the 16 of you that answered the question, are more interested in the education and information sharing than they are, and maybe that would include elected officials, than actually working with the commission. And the EMPC has always been kind of independent.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's the reason.
And that's kind of, in order for the EMPC to keep that going, that's, I guess, the point. I need help. We need help. So that's what we're doing today. So given the last 2 exercises, this is a free form answer. List topics or issues you would like EMPC to focus on in 2021. And here I'm going to you can put in topics that interest you. And I'm kind of looking to see, I couldn't have 4 questions, because if I was doing this the ideal way would be to take these answers and then do another voting poll. But I can only have 3 questions, so I'd have to do that separately. I may take the list of this and then send it out to everybody in like an email survey or something to get priorities. Or if a bunch of people list the same thing, that will also tell me something. Tell us something, I should say.
Can enter as many as you like and submit separately, I guess. Don't combine a whole bunch of stuff into one response.
Oh, what? We can't list all 3 things on one?
I guess I'm not the one that's going to go back and pull the individual pieces up then. No, I'm playing.
And I think that if your organization has a project or a topic that you're really focused on this year, put that in the list, because then that's helping us collaborate, right? If you're working on something and everybody can lean in.
How long does the list look for you, Kathy? That's something we don't get to see.
Oh, I can scroll down. Okay. Okay, so start at the top. Sample or model ordinances for sustainability. Oh, that actually, and maybe we can go through this. So after this, it's more open discussion and say who might be doing something on that. If I look at the sample ordinances one, we are actually updating our sensible tools guide right now, and really expanding it to be sustainability and resilience, and along with smart growth. The original version that's like 10 years old was really focused on sprawl prevention, and this one's gonna be much broader. So that's one that I think we could do one of the formal NERC meetings about. Is it going from the bottom up? Oh, it's going this way. Community conservation. Is that like backyard habitat stuff? Or
this is Chris. I put that one in just thinking about some of the great work that's being undertaken, particularly in Gary, with Empc and Field Museum, Shoreline Erosion.
Great.
Oh, cool. Kathy, it did just show up on our phones. At least it did on mine, that you can scroll through all the individuals. So I don't know if you just closed it or what. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Incorporating environmental issues into all aspects of planning, regional planning. That I think can go back to the sensible tools. Climate change policies, shoreline hazards, transportation and environment. Climate again, MS4, climate again, SWCD and NRCS. So that's like agriculture programs.
Shoreline erosion, still a hot topic, multiple mentions.
Green infrastructure and ecosystem valuation, that we haven't revisited that in a while. That's we have that study, but it's kind of old. Flooding, networking,
Kath, I don't know. Your list disappeared from my screen.
Same.
Yeah, it disappeared from mine too. I think.
One of the things that I put on there was regional solid waste management.
Oh,
I think we need to be aware that the state is going to allow counties to decide whether they want to continue to fund regional solid waste boards and activities. And we need to stay abreast of what activities are going on and what what message we can give our residents on recycling. The two solid waste districts in Lake and Porter County have really significantly decreased their activity. Porter County now is looking at whether to have a single 24-hour site where you drop everything off, or still the local sites. I think we just need to be on top of this issue because it will have a huge impact on our residents.
That's been a challenge, Reggie. That's come up. It actually came up back in the 2040 plan. The public was really interested in that. And it's been, other than, I mean, Porter County will contribute sometimes to these discussions, but Lake County doesn't work with Porter and LaPorte anymore, at least not on household hazardous waste. So that one's been a challenge. I hear you. Maybe, I mean, there's.
Well, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time we address the challenge then, and look at the new director in Lake County, the new director in Porter County, get LaPorte County on board. The fact that items are not going to China anymore. I'm constantly being asked on where they take certain things for recycling. Yeah, it's an issue that affects 100% of our population. So maybe we just need to. This is where I don't know, Kathy, if you could have like focus groups or committees within the EMPC that address certain things. You know, Lori, you do so much with the air quality, the transportation, you know, the Volkswagen program. You keep people aware of that. Maybe we need groups that would work on some of these other issues.
Or maybe make an effort to reach out and have them attend our meeting. You know, I know some folks over at the solid waste.
Right.
I can try to do that in Lake County and just say, hey, you know, head up.
Maybe we could invite. Maybe we could do on one of the open week months. Ask if they would consider get all three of the directors to come and give us a panel about challenges or something, and then I don't know.
That would be good. Probably sooner than later, because I know our city is really struggling with the solid waste issue.
Yep.
Reduced services, and then we're leading toward, you know, I don't know what other communities have done before, but there's going to come a point where solid waste is going to be shifted to the responsibility of the, you know, the residents fully.
Yep.
So
I think that Brenda, if we look at a bill, Jeanette in Lake County, if we look at the board, the director, but then also invite a member of the advisory board, so we get an idea of what they are looking at to advise their people or their staff, and have a full discussion. I think that's a great idea.
Well, so I must have taken out that slide. So then the next step, and this is where I ran out of question slides, so we're going to have an open discussion, is I need champions. I'm going to go back to that slide that I was in. Back.
Do we get a sword?
Can
we be a superhero?
Yes. So so at this point, we're kind of I'm out of interactive stuff, so I need to, but I want to keep this up on the screen and see if anybody wants to be the leader or the champion or the coordinator of something on one of these topics that is really near and dear to their heart. So for one of these open slots in the schedule. So, but I need to, where did oh, there it is. Okay. So And I'll go through the ones that I think that NERC would already be doing something about is the urban forestry that was down here. I should have put up a whiteboard. Isn't there a whiteboard? I don't know. So maybe, so the stuff that's in there about.
I think for the whiteboard, you go to the share screen and it'll be in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But then, okay, you guys can all see this on your, if you're looking at your phone or your other screen in the Slido, right? This list?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing this and then share screen. Oh, there it is. Whiteboard. Share. Okay. Oh, I don't want to type. So, if I'm looking at this list, I know that like urban forestry, that's a NERC Joe lead. And we're already planning to do one of the NERC meetings about that. So lead and drinking water. Sorry, my dogs are barking right now. Does anyone want to champion that? I know it's an issue, or have new information or project they could report on, or do we put that in the parking lot?
So if you add water equity, because it's more than just about the lead in the pipes, it's more so about as the infrastructure is improved, the cost of water. So Mayor Prince sits on the Mayors for Water Equity under the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Cities Initiative. So I could help with that because I know that I'm gonna have some homework on that side, and I can just bring that information that we're doing there to to this forum.
Okay. The EPA Emergency Response. I think they went on hold for a while because of COVID, and then I think they tried to have one meeting.
Yeah, I can't remember when that was. I wasn't able to do that one, and I'm not sure it happened.
Okay, so NERC follow up.
Yep.
On that one.
Hey, Kathy, how much credit can the EMPC take for that? The EPA moving on that response planning, or is that something that was? Because I mean, it seemed like it followed our resolution in our meetings.
It was, well, you know, it started with the joint urban waters and EMPC meeting. I think that urban waters brought the federal agencies to us, and then they got to hear what we had to say.
Kathy, I had checked in with Peg Donnelly with EPA about that. Let me pull up the email response that she sent to me. She did have an update, and I can coordinate with her to make some connections with Dan and Carol to get something lined up, you know, with you guys taking the lead. But Peg said that she spoke with Dan and Carol, who are on that project team at EPA. And the next ER planning meeting will be on February 2nd. There should be a new draft of the plan available next week. She's going to let me know when she gets it and see if anyone wants to help review and provide comments.
Okay.
So that's all I have now, but just keep me in the loop.
Okay.
I can help.
Okay. Awesome.
I thought that was a really big win and a big a cool thing to come out of this committee. So I just wanted to thank everyone for all their work on that, because I know it's a big undertaking on the federal level to do anything like that. So that's great.
Yeah. I think flood is flood on the list more than once.
Bill.
Oh yeah.
Flooding.
Should be.
Oh, I meant to say add one that I didn't. Flooding. Text.
Did anybody have any more specific like flooding? Are we talking like riverine flooding or aerial flooding?
Basement flooding. That's my life. Not anymore.
Yeah, it's a hard, you know, that's a hard one to narrow down, I guess. But I mean, it's sort of all
I know there's a lot going on with the Little Cal River Basin Commission between a lot of habitat restoration that Audubon and TNC are doing, and also the Deep River Dam project is going gangbusters, and that's something we had a lot of influence on.
Yeah.
Do you think we could get in one of those open meetings, Dan, and we'll get both the Little Cal and the Kankakee River Basin Commission to come and talk about what they're doing and how they're doing it and that type of thing?
Good. If somebody that's got those connections would be like awesome, because I would be just honest up front. I've struggled in getting that group to communicate with me. At least pertaining to Deep River Dam.
I think
Are you talking about the Little Cal or the Kankakee River?
I'm sorry, Little Cal River Basin Development Commission.
Bill, are you on both of them?
No, I'm on the Kankakee, but we're doing a lot of projects with Little Cal right now, and so I can talk to Dan and see if we can't get. So are you thinking like maybe like get both of them in, kind of an update, a little bit of a panel?
I think that would be kind of cool.
Good.
Yeah. I'll bet they would do that. I mean,
Bill, the Kankakee River Basin Commission expanded their area, and they're doing some incredible projects. I know we're working on some of them, so having them tell people would be great.
That's a great point. There's a lot going on right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our time slot each one. Yeah.
The Little Cal habitat work is going to be shifting over to wetlands initiative at some point.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to get a lot more technical with regard to water structures and stuff. So so
I did
at some
participate
point
in some Little Calumet River flood modeling effort, and we developed a watershed rainfall runoff model as well as flood model for Little Calumet River system in collaboration with Little Calumet River Commission.
Gosh, I almost think this is sounding like a half a day workshop. Or I mean, there's a lot going on. Maybe that's a thing. Because there's also another topic farther down the list called river corridors, which seems related.
Definitely.
And
we've also on something, Kathy. This is Jen. I think you've got something there.
I mean, it could be a whole like there was a while ago that there was some like we could do a whole day thing about a river rally thing. I don't know. Anyway, okay, this could be a thing. Cool. Whenever you guys get tired of me doing this, we can.
Is Lori still on the line?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, sorry, I glitched there for a second. Yes.
South Shore Clean Cities, you're doing so much with air quality. EPA has this whole new asthma program and how it impact, how air quality is impacting this. You have issues in all the different communities taking on an air quality initiative. That would be a good thing for you to do.
Thanks, Rich. Honestly, what I was going to say is, and I can address that in a second, but I mean, we really are just about the only group that falls under air quality. So I think, air quality / transportation, South Shore Clean Cities for any of these, that's kind of right where we're at.
You're my champion.
But thank you. Like Reggie said, I want a sword or a cape or maybe a crown or something. But as it pertains to, as air quality issues pertain to health, it has been a struggle, and we've worked, tirelessly, and we are not done, obviously, to get our local hospitals, our local health departments, to partner with us, to kind of champion the connections there. And that's what this group is really about, is the connections, as we saw. So those efforts are ongoing. We're consistently trying to work with them, both from kind of a CEO level, as well as the foundations that support, the kind of the nonprofit aspects and the for-profit aspects of those organizations, and those at the county and city levels, where the cities have their own health departments. But that is something that's ongoing, and I agree with you, Reggie. It's something we can keep working toward.
I realize it's going to be a little tough now with COVID and their focus on that. But I think if we lay the groundwork and start saying, you know, you may not be able to help us right now, but you'll be able to help us before the end of the year.
Sure, absolutely.
Access, Jenny?
I wanted to ask if public access, was that about Lake Michigan or general or rivers, or what was that about? Who put, I mean, I just like more of a, what were they people thinking when whoever put public access in?
Does public access go along with, the work at the along the National Lakeshore? Is that what somebody was thinking, or how are they?
I don't know. Or like, I know that there's been a lot more access added, like Shoreline Heights added a lot more access to the little East Branch.
Yeah, I didn't include this one, so I'll be curious.
Okay. Anybody who put that down know what they meant?
That person took an exit, went to the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could see this being a couple of different things. I know Urban Waters has that as kind of a priority area in our work plan, and we refer to it more in terms of, you know, like you said, the work along the East Branch and different waterways, getting launches in and making waterways accessible.
It's like equity, right?
But I would also wonder if this was maybe something that isn't as much Urban Waters action. You know, I know there's a lot of action from like Save the Dunes and others on Lakeshore and beach access. So
isn't there a part of that addresses public access in Visklowski's plan?
The Marquette plan?
Yeah. Are you still using that?
We are.
Okay.
I think DNR is, but the big money of the RDA is really not. So.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe this can be a collaboration, Kathy, Urban Waters, NERPC, and potentially with Coastal. Let's just have a little conversation offline. I just think it depends on kind of topical areas, but those are your usual characters.
I mean, the Marquette plan opportunities that have occurred have been all at closed, are at or have been at closed power plants, and most of them did not. I do not believe are going towards public access. So,
Shoreline Erosion, Kathy, let's get that one. I'm looking at you, Jenny, muted up.
Yeah, that's Jenny.
Yeah.
Jenny and we were going to work with her.
There's a couple different ways it's referred to in the list, and you know, we just submitted, the DNR director just submitted a letter of support for an Army Corps study through WRDA, funded through WRDA. So looking at a Great Lakes coastal resiliency study, doing vulnerability assessment, sediment budgeting, assessing the hardened shorelines. And so, you know, we really feel like this is our wheelhouse and we have access to resources, but we need to hear from the coastal area, the partners and communities of, you know, what do you want to see and how can we connect you with the resources that we have available? So
and LMCP and NERPC then. So
yeah, and we're actually, EMPC is sort of charged with that from the commission as well. So
right. So yeah, like we're hoping to hear within the next month or so whether or not Congress will approve the funding for that, and all the Great Lakes states are engaged in it, and we're you know, we've been at it for about 5 years now, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, so that's in the WRDA bill?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I jump in here for a second?
Yeah, Kay might know something about the WRDA bill.
Well, the Great Lakes Shoreline Resiliency Study is a $10.2 million estimate cost. Congress appropriated it, but you know, in the omnibus bill that provided the Corps their funding, it's not a line item specifically. What Jen was referring to, the Corps has a pot of money that they can evaluate the viability or necessity of their different studies that Congress has authorized and fund those studies from that pot of money. Right now, Senator Baldwin is approaching the other Great Lakes state senators to attempt to get a bipartisan letter to send to the Corps of Engineers outlining our interest in the Corps using their decision-making process to fund that feasibility study through that pot of money. All of the 8 Great Lakes states DNRs have sent letters of support, as Jen mentioned, and that's in the packet as well that Senator Baldwin is looking to send to the Corps. Right now, I'm working with representatives from Senator Braun and Senator Young's offices to get them to sign on to the letter. Both Chris Salatas from Young's office and Tony Ferraro from Braun's office have expressed support of their advocating to their bosses to sign on to this letter. So if others on this call would want to send emails to Tony or Chris on your support of their bosses signing on to this letter, that will certainly help the process. And I can send those email addresses to Kathy or Joe, and then they can forward them out, or I can put them in the comment portion here, I guess, probably too, huh?
Yeah, we download the chat, right? Kevin or Floor at the end, do we say we get to save the chat, right?
You should
Whatever.
be able to.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do save it, and then I will send it to you when the meeting is over and everything gets uploaded and everything like that to my computer from the recording.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll put their email addresses into the chat.
Okay. So that could be a good, depending on, timing, maybe we want to do we could do a, special meeting or something about that. Okay.
Yeah.
MS4 is Reggie.
Yeah. MS4, Reggie, you're the champion of that, and Bill.
I would like to make sure that we include, I would say NPDS stormwater rules, because this is going to require construction permit updates, the MS4 permit updates, and eventually in not too distant future, industrial permit updates. There's a lot that we can coordinate with the state revolving loan fund on what communities have to do to get money for infrastructure. I know Brenda is interested in that, how we can look at updating our stormwater quality management plan. There's just so much there that if you just say stormwater NPDS, that'll cover everything.
Yeah. I mean, so are all the MS4s in the region still pretty much participating in the NICEAG group actively?
Yeah. Well, at this point, it's hard to say actively. I will say that when we do the contractors workshop, when we did it last year, we had 100% attendance. We didn't do an MS4 annual meeting this year.
Yeah.
We had a few people attend the the other, what is it? An AFSA meeting. So I think it's engaging people.
Yeah.
One of the things we're going to talk about at our meeting, at our conference call, is how we keep people involved. I got some good feedback from Brenda, keep the Zoom to an hour, keep the topics relevant. And so knowing that this group is working on that too will be huge.
Are they doing the industrial stormwater permit changing too? Are they changing those too?
That's the last one that has not been, we haven't updated the industrial permit since 2002.
I mean,
this is the general administrative permit. So
I mean, maybe grabbing one of these Thursdays and having NICEAG do a workshop, like a regional MS4 workshop or meeting. I don't know.
Yeah, we could do something like that. We're going to have to figure out, it's required in the permit that we supply yearly training to contractors and developers. And when Lake County and Porter County combined this effort, we went to over 300 people participating. And so we've got to figure out how to keep that number up there, whether we do a virtual or spread out in the expo center so we don't touch each other. I don't know how we're going to do it yet. Bill, that's on our list to talk about.
Yeah, that's going to be a challenge.
Well, so I want to do a check-in with people on this discussion because I did leave it very open and free form. We're like maybe halfway through the list of that people put in the Slido. and we're at 10:15, which is past the ideal, right? The ideal Zoom call is an hour. We could keep going through this. I could put these things out there.
We do like a Google Forms or something like that, or put an end date out there that we can send it out and need to have it back by a set time.
Yeah.
The only thing I would request is Google Forms is very hard to use when you have federal
yeah, good point.
things. So
yeah,
some way that you could send it to us.
Yeah, we can do a survey and directly in our constant contact, but it's hard to set up, but we could do that, or we could, I think we still have SurveyMonkey too. So there's different ways, but do you guys want to keep going through this, or do you want to put a pin in? I don't want to I always hold the slot for 2 hours, but I know not everybody can do that. And I know that these calls can be tiring, but on the other hand, I feel like we're doing some good,
I think while you have us,
use you.
You should take advantage of it.
Okay.
I agree. I agree with Brenda.
Okay, so I'm thinking that I'm going down the list again. We were at public access, the sample ordinances for sustainability. I'm gonna give that to NERPC because it's in our new sensible tools. But I also know some other organizations, like I know, Jenny, you guys had a wetland ordinance you were working on, and I know that Save the Dunes has some like native landscaping model ordinance, don't you, Katie? Do you know what I'm talking about? Model ordinances.
And Kathy, I added that. I know that we are also working on some sample ordinances for electric vehicle infrastructure to assist our communities as part of the Sensible Tools Handbook. As part of our work with you. So I put that down
you guys to write that whole chapter about
so
fuel.
Ryan is working on that, but I think the more that we can, the easier we can make it for folks, to implement these things, because for some people it's a lot of folks they don't know where to begin, or they think it's too technical. Well, that's what we're here for. So the more tools that we can give them to be able to feel more comfortable about having the ability to adopt these, the better. And not just from a transportation air quality standpoint, but all the aspects that this organization covers, or this body covers.
Lori, one of the things that is really difficult is getting ordinances on the agenda for the communities, and getting the readings and getting them passed and that type of thing. So this group coordinating, whether you need to update air quality ordinances, you need to update the stormwater ordinance, that maybe there's a way we could say, okay, here are the things you have to think about. Either you could do it all at once, or you could do it piecemeal, however you want, but they would have a bigger picture of it.
And the update to the Sensible Tools Handbook that NERPC is working on, I think does exactly that. And I was on that subcommittee earlier last year as well. Or was it the year before? It's a blur.
Yeah.
At some point recently, I was on a subcommittee that addressed working on that issue.
Kathy, this is Joe. I just got a text from Meredith. Zoom is not letting her get other meetings open and ready for an upcoming meeting here in like 10, 15 minutes for the end use and all. So this might be like she's telling me we need to wrap this up so we can move on. And I've got to jump to another meeting. So I just wanted to let you know. Okay.
Okay. So actually, when I start going back down through the list, let's do, we can stop it in a couple minutes. I just want to finish up. There's a couple more on the, I lost the page. Most of these are starting to duplicate down the list. Where's the results?
I'd like to take on the solid waste issue with Bill.
Okay. I think Carrie Mars would be really interested in doing that. She's really, do any of you guys remember Carrie Mars from back on the E. coli task force in LaPorte County Health Department?
Oh,
She's the Porter County solid waste management director now. Solid waste management. Reggie. Okay. I lost the list. Does there anybody else have the Slido still open? Did we miss any major ones?
Let me look real quick here. River Corridor grant opportunities, electric vehicle, farmland preservation, ag. Do we want somebody to take on ag?
I know I put in farmland preservation. I'm not sure who put in NRCS and SWCD. But
Julie, Bill, what about getting Julie Ditweiler to, at least give us an update on SWCD and NRCS and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we could if that's.
I don't know if that's a high priority for everyone or just.
Okay, I mean, I
feel like we have a really good list here.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to spread too thin, so we'll put the ag one in the parking lot. Ag.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a lot of topics.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about several of these. So, I think, who has the agenda up still? I lost the agenda.
Thanks, Lori. That's good to know.
Climate change was mentioned quite a bit, but I mean, that's kind of moving. There's some progress in that, area with the IU program. So I don't know, but.
I've got students working with Janet McCabe at the IUPUI school on that bill. So maybe there's some way we could get them involved.
Reggie, we applied for like 6 interns from them and they're not going to give us 6. So, Kathy Sippel's group is working on additional funding to fill, because we're going to need a lot for the 14 or 15 communities. So that's good to know. So I'll put NERPC.
That's good to know, Kathy, because I have students that are looking for those internships.
Yeah, we applied for, well, I don't know if we'll get selected, but we applied for the program and our application needs 6 interns. And I know they'll try to populate it from regional first so people don't have to move and because of COVID and stuff. So you might want to make sure that your kids are on their list at the whatever Sustainability Institute or Resilience Institute. So
okay.
Kathy, for the climate change, we are conducting some research at PNW also, and we are making analysis about the distribution of rainfall in an yearly sequence, as well as regional climate trends. We are making some analysis in that.
Okay, that's interesting. In addition, we staff did not have time to really dig into the vulnerability assessment we wanted to do in the last 2 years. So we put in, we had some extra budget. And so we are hoping to hire a consultant to help us kick that off. So, so there's going to be something on the vulnerability end, which is more like I think, Chandra, what you're talking about. Yes. Who else?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I've heard from Meredith. This is Candace, and she will need to end this meeting in 2 minutes to prepare for the next one, a Zoom call.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Bill, did we get through the whole agenda?
Yeah, I think we're good. We had no announcements or anything, but next meeting is set for April 1st, 9 a.m. Thank you all for being here. Kathy.
Remember at the beginning when I said it was a really short agenda?
Yeah, right. Oh man, this was really good though.
Okay. Does anybody?
Kathy, are we able to send you announcements? Maybe we could have kind of a comprehensive email for the group so that folks can get the information we normally share here.
Yeah, you did have a lot of announcements. Yeah, we'll do that. And if anybody has anything they want to do on February 4th that we can help promote and use our Zoom call for, let us know.
I'll let you know.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.